name is Tom Peterson, and I'm with Nvidia, and what I'm showing you here is 4K with G-Sync. Now this is a prototype monitor that we built together just to demonstrate a proof of concept here at CES. It's using an ASUS 4K monitor, but if you look on the back here, let me see if I can show you. All of the guts of this monitor have been removed, and we've replaced it with a G-Sync module. So one module enables 4K at 60 Hertz. Now what we're showing next to it is the original panel. So here's the original design, which is an ASUS panel, and this is the modified Nvidia panel. So what you'll see on the left-hand side is the way monitors work today. It's running a fixed refresh rate at 60 Hertz. And you can see this little flickering. It's because the frame rate is at 40. So when the frame rate's not matching the refresh rate, you have to do something to get it on the screen. In this case, we're turning VSync off, and we're doing what's called tearing, just rate matching, but it doesn't look great. The other option is to turn VSync on, and I can do that in my little app. Now with VSync on, you can see the pendulum is kind of pulsing as it moves from left to right. That's the same problem. We're synchronizing a 40 Hertz frame rate to a 60 Hertz refresh rate, and occasionally we're replaying a frame. What G-Sync does on this side is it changes that equation entirely, and now instead of updating at a fixed refresh rate, the variable rate of the monitor matches the frame rate of the game. So in this case, the monitor itself is actually refreshing at 40 times a second. That allows us to get much smoother motion and get rid of any artifacting like tearing or stuff. So it's a very simple concept. And you can see it even more exaggerated if I orbit the camera a little bit, and then orbit the camera over here, and then turn it back to no VSync mode. This is much more the experience that gamers are used to. It's kind of, got all this little flickery things, and it's sort of pulsing and stuttering. And this is running at 40 frames a second, which most people think is great. And over here, the same experience, 40 frames a second, only it's smooth and silky and buttery because of G-Sync. Now, it's kind of cool to look at the demo, but maybe it would be better to show you a game. So I'm just going to get out of here and close Fraps, and I'm going to launch, ooh, look at that. So I'm already in it. That's great. So let me go ahead and pull up Fraps again. And here's Fraps. And I think, yeah, we're looking good. Okay. Okay, so what this is a game called Anno 2070. And what you'll notice is I can move the screen around with my cursor, and when we're at 60 frames a second, the behavior is great. But what happens is when I get into a lower frame rate, you can see it starts getting chunky and choppy, and it's something not good, right? So smooth, if I just go left, it's smooth, and then right, it's chunky. Well, what you'll see is there's a little red box up here in the corner. That's a technology that we just launched where we're controlling the VSync mode of this panel. So when it's red, VSync is on. Okay, and when VSync's on, games have to be sunk up to the refresh rate of the panel, so we're at 60, but when the work gets harder, the performance drops down to 30 and then back up to 60. So it's a pretty hard experience to enjoy. Now if I hit page up, I can actually put it into VSync off mode. Now in VSync off mode, you'll notice that it's no longer, dropping down to 30, but it's got that pulsing tearing, and that's all because we're synchronizing with the monitor. Now what G-Sync does is it gets rid of all of that. And what you can see when I scroll left and right and around, as the frame rate's varying, if you look right here, it's 43 frames a second. Here it's 60 frames a second. And the transition across the world is smooth and seamless. That's what G-Sync does. It makes gameplay smoother by adapting the update rate of the monitor to match the content rate of the game. Make sense?
Yeah, beautiful. Looks great.
Any other questions?
No, that pretty much summed it all up. Excellent.
Do you want to look at it? Okay, so here we are in Gotham, and Batman is getting ready to kick some ass, but before we do, we're looking around the city, and I'm going to scroll slowly to the right. Now, we're running at 55 frames a second, which most gamers is going to think is going to be awesome. VSync is on. But watch what happens to these poles when I scroll that way. There's a weird pulsing. if you just watch the pole, you can see it's going
Yeah.
That's caused by synchronizing VSync to the monitor. If I turn VSync off, you can see the obvious tearing, right? It's pretty bad. But that's the way most gamers play. Most gamers actually play with VSync off. Now what G-Sync does is it fixes all that. You get no pulsing, nice smooth motion, same frame rate, no tearing, no stutter. It's basically gorgeous, right? So let me show you VSync on. And now look for the pulsing, right? Kind of stuttery pulse. And this is at 56 frames a second, so we're really a very, very high frame rate, but the experience is still not right. And then you turn VSync off, and we get the tearing. And then G-Sync on, and it's beautiful, nice and smooth. Pretty simple, right?
Yeah, very noticeable.
So you can see that in your game as you're just playing around. What I notice is if I just like go nuts now, I'm going to do a little Batman judo here. They're flying around. G-Sync is on, but while I'm flying, I'm going to say, okay, turn V-Sync on. And watch what happens when I'm just looking at the world. It's just less easy to enjoy because things are kind of choppy. If I turn G-Sync back on, you know, suddenly the whole world is just a smoother, better place. Very smooth. And if I turn VSync, this is VSync on, you can watch this wall just like chunky, pulsing, right? It's a subtle thing for me, but it's super noticeable in just the immersion of the game. Even flying around, right? You can kind of see it's not that smooth.
Cool.